Hello, hello, hello. Oh. Right. I'm acting like I was in a rush there. I really wasn't. Oh, that's nice and blue, isn't it? Now, if I could only afford all of them to be blue. Yeah, I'm still getting there, guys. Still getting there. I've got some things planned for walls and more unboxings that I've got coming up. So, yes. We're on another trip down Freeware Lane, which is an actual lane near it. No, it's not. I lie. It's not. It's not. But we are having a look at more freeware. So these are for Flight Sim 2024. I think most of them have a 2020 version, or at least are also compatible with 2020 as well. And I'm also currently in the making of, I think, 4 new episodes. I did a freeware video that was well received. I really enjoyed making it, so I've decided to do more. And when I mean more, I mean 4 more. So I've got 4 to record, 4 to record my voice for, as well as other things. So yeah, there's my alarm for 7 o'clock again, as always. I'm not too sure why I do that. Oh yeah, it's from my tablet, which I never take on time. It don't matter at the minute. So we've got 4 to look at in this. I wouldn't call this an episode, this is a live stream. I am looking to do some flying episodes soon. I've just got a really, really cool general aviation plane that I've really wanted to fly for a long time. It's not new. I've been wanting to fly it for a while, and that will appear in some episode at some point. But I want to do some real flying, because you know what, guys? You know what happened to me yesterday? A while back on my Facebook, one of my well, a pilot in the making and also a follower of my social media, actually said to me, you know, whenever I've got any room in my Piper PA-28, you can come along. Now I'm sitting there with the baby yesterday, just lazy Saturday. Possibly would have taken it out in the pram for a little walk. I don't know, but anyway, as luck would have it, at the time not so lucky, but luckily my mother was coming around and she was the saviour of the day, because I got a message on Facebook by that person and he said, I'm flying to go and get some fuel at 4:30. Do you want to come? And I was like, oh my god, are you joking? I've got the baby. My mum was fantastic. She took the baby for a few hours and I got to go flying from Liverpool Airport to Sleep by Shrewsbury, I think it is. Shrewsbury. But yeah, I got to fly in a little Piper PA-28 at about, I think, 1,500, 2,000 feet. Got to overfly Howden, the Airbus factory, on the way back, and then circle around Liverpool city centre at about, I think it was about 2,000 feet. It was insane. It was incredible. I am going to make, as you can imagine, I got a ton of videos. I am going to make some kind of reel, because I shot it vertically for that matter. So, but yeah, fantastic. Jason, if you ever see this live stream, mate, thank you so much. I did thank you and your wife so much yesterday. So, but again, thank you. That was incredible. Insane. Kev, I'm good, mate. How are you? Thanks for coming in, mate. So I am going to be showing some freeware today. Who's messaging me? I'm going to take you through some new freeware, or not, maybe not new. Do you know what? Most of these are actually new. So we'll have a little look at those on today's live stream. And if you are watching back, please let me know in the comments what your favourite was and which one you might go and download. Same as the chat, if you are interested in any, they're linked in the description. All of them are available from flightsim.to as per usual. It's very rare that freeware is available on any other website, although there is some websites that do give you some free flight sim products. So we're going to start off in, where are we? Let's have a little check, because off the top of my head, I haven't got a clue where we are. Are we in Norway? Are we in Norway again? Yes, because we are looking at another airport from Ehindur. Now, there probably is a better way to say that. So, I know he actually did message on the comments last time. I featured his one of his last freewares, which was Voss Airfield, again in Norway. So, Echo November Bravo Mike. Today we are in Oppdal, Fagerhaug. Again, pronunciation might be absolutely terrible. That is Echo November Oscar Papa, and it's another belter. Now, he has brought some other ones out before this. There's a reason why I'm missing those out, so keep an eye on the channel for those. But we're looking at his latest. This only came out around maybe a week ago, something like that, in the last week or so. But this is Oppdal, so we're having a look at Oppdal Fagerhaug. Yeah, it's linked in the description. You can probably see what it's called. But we're here. We're in avatar mode as well, which is something I don't use a lot of. So I do apologise, but I do want to start using it more. Bear with me, guys. Right, I apologise. I apologise. So, fantastic scenery, as you can imagine, but it's another belter of a freeware. Now, we are getting to a point where these freeware sceneries are getting more and more detailed now. Unfortunately, we do have some of the sort of the 2D sort of, yeah, you know, the generic cars. Like, I think these are sort of I think these are from like 2020, or they're just maybe auto-generated, where they just are plopped into car parks. But obviously, amidst those particular cars, you've got some glider trailers, you've got some lovely detailed caravans with actual little gazebos coming out the side of them. They're really, really cool. But this airport, now, I'll probably go into drone mode, but in fact, I'll be giving away the next aircraft. But if you have looked in the comments, then you will see the aircraft that we are looking at next, which is it's a bit different. It's a bit different. I'm not gonna lie. Dave, good to see you. Good evening, Brian. Good weekend, mate. I got to fly in a PA-28 yesterday. I'm still raving. I'm still absolutely buzzing from it. Got to fly from my local airport, so I got to take off and land on a, you know, compared to a Piper PA-28, a massive wide runway. It was incredible. It really was. From flying them in the simulator almost daily to actually going in a real one, it's just, you know, the simulators do a good job, but they just can't capture the feeling of flying. I know that sounds silly, but they just can't. And also, if you're not inside the VR headset, those small general aviation planes, they're so tiny, and I'm a big lad, you know what I mean? And I was, you know, squashed in there in the seat. But it was incredible. It was incredible. Mr. Dookie, good to see you. Hi from Texas. Nice. Yeah, Dave, it was, yeah, I keep on going on about it. I'm sure next week more people. I've got the baby's party next week, a two-year-old party. So I'm sure everyone will be wanting to find out there. But anyway, guys, this is Oppdal Airport. It's Echo November Oscar Papa. It's from Ehindur. That's probably not the way to say it, but as I say, we did feature his Voss Airfield. I'm not too sure whether the traffic the traffic audio came in all of a sudden there. That's a bit weird. Okay, I'll turn it down a bit. Ever so slightly. ever so slightly. But yes, this is linked in the description below, as well as everything else that I am showing. Now, what I want to do is I just want to double check my settings, because every so often I always get really paranoid that my settings have just turned off or reset. Maybe it's just the way the grass looks around here, but the grass looks a bit shaven and a bit bare, but it's probably something to do with the scenery. But this is another, it's a small one, it's a small general aviation airfield in Norway, but it's really fun. It's really fun, and again, very detailed, just like the Voss airfield as well. It's using the animated avatar sort of models for the people, so everything's animated in terms of people, you know, standing around. You've got this guy on his phone with his hat and his backpack on. He's actually got WhatsApp on it. It's cool. Oh, do you see the way he hid away from me there? He obviously knew I was there. And mate, I'm trying to look at your phone. I'm being nosy. But yeah, you've got the guys obviously over the caravan. Not the caravan, the parachute aircraft. And then these guys having a little mothers meeting here. But what I want to do, guys, is I apologize. What I do want to do is I just want to end that thing just for a second. Oh, you might have seen it. It doesn't matter. It's in the description. So if you want to know what it is, but there's an aircraft in there that I want to show you after I've shown you. But stay at the airfield. But I want to show you the aircraft at the airfield. So. Mickey, it's good to see you, bud. Really nice to see you. Thanks for joining tonight. So yeah, guys, I've got quite a few things coming up. Oh. I thought it crashed then. I don't know why. It just went a bit weird. Anyway. I'm an ex-RAF, so I've flown often as it was up. Oh, yeah. It's just, again, the size of the general aviation aircraft, when you sort of, you know, when you're here in the simulator, it sounds obvious. It's a 2D screen, and it doesn't really. I know this again. It looks massive on the screen, but this particular aircraft, you know, a lad my size goes into that, you know, I'm scrunched up, you know, and it just felt the same in the PA-28 yesterday, but it was so much fun. It really was. I kind of like the plane in the thumbnail. I've only flown it once. Yeah, so there's a few caveats with the what was it called? It's the new DSDSimulations aircraft we're going to be taking a look at a bit later on in the stream. The Lysander, the Westland. Beautifully done conversion. So it is a conversion, but like I said, we'll get onto that after we've got four add-ons. In this particular episode, so probably not as many as I would usually show off. Bad English from me, buddy. No, it's okay, mate. I can't even talk. I can't believe I actually live stream at this point. So yeah, this is using some of the nice default assets, the 2024 ones, you know, the really fancy cars, the animated avatars as well, but it's also using custom buildings as well, so there's a nice blend. You know, there's like a little Corvette Stingray, and then one of the new Corvette it's the Dodge Challenger type car, and like a Lamborghini type one here as well. So really, really cool. I'll show you what the airfield looks like. We've got some gliders, and then you've got this kind of, it's like a concrete airstrip, but with a sort of, you know, a spillover, I guess is what you call it. Not like an a displaced or extended threshold. It's kind of, you know, it extends out, which is lucky if you don't grab the center line. You know, you've still got time, but you know, look at the scenery. And this is the thing, guys. If I ever show some freeware off any scenery, and you think to yourself, well, this airport's not really a location of interest for me. Always think about the area around it, not so much the airport or the airfield. Think about the area around it and the fact that it's free. So you absolutely you've not wasted any money. You've not committed to a product, and even then, these freewares are getting so detailed. And we'll have a little look around the hangars and the little control tower, but it's not a huge airfield. But the scenery around it, I mean, grab yourself a bush plane, grab yourself a GA helicopter. You've got a helicopter pad here. Camaro, that's it. Yeah. So we've got, as I say, the hangars and the sort of the small tower. It's all custom buildings, really nice. And again, using the default sort of the animated avatar models, and they're pretty good. They are nice. I do like the coffee cups that have got the spoon left in them. And I you know what, I would rather, if I was a scenery creator, I've tried to dabble in it. I haven't gone back to the airfield I was making, but these animated avatar ones, they're very good. I would, as a scenery developer, I would just be using those because they're probably well optimized for obviously the scenery editor, and they probably won't cost you any perform. Well, I'm guessing at that, but you know, this is only a small airfield, and performance seems pretty good. It doesn't seem to want to lag or anything. And you know, you've got a build up of people here, and you can create these very convincing sort of scenarios and scenes, can't you? The pilot here going through the the flight plan and stuff. These guys having a chat. They might just be coming along for the ride. Really cool. Love to see you. Good to see you, Mike, one of our good friends and moderators of the channel. On your way home from Anfield. Just a quick hello and like. Appreciate it, mate. Thank you so much. And as you can imagine, it's not going to be the airfield to admire any kind of night lighting, but you know, you can certainly have a look at what's going on with the night lighting. Some internal lights for the hangar, some of the outside ones as well. Again, like I always say, I expect it to look like this. This is, I can't imagine any other scenario. There is this is brilliant as well. This is the statue the sculpture into the rock. Again, all, you know, custom imported, even custom created. I'd love to know if this is a bit of flickering there, but again, the lights off the side of it. So you've got custom-made hangars with some interiors, custom-made old tower building with full interior. You can actually walk around in avatar mode. Custom-made objects throughout. Custom-made circle lights. PBR section. So it says tip, which I didn't do. That's how much I read. Download Eric Hanoi Norway Ski Resort Mega Pack to remove vegetation and enhance the ski resort at Oppdal. Nice. That's also linked in the product page, not the product page, the download page. So keep that in mind, guys. If you do like the look of this airfield, then download the ski resorts Mega Pack. So you got 100 resorts. Really nice little airfield. You know, my type of sort of, and many other people, of course, but my type of little airfield. Really cool. Mac, just passing by to say hello. No worries, mate. Good to see you. Good to see you. Thanks for popping in and saying hello. Really appreciate it. So, again, most of our other hangars aren't open. What I did want to show you guys is there's quite some nice little details in this one. I can see my camera's gone a bit skew-whiff again. There we go. So we've got some little desks and then some of the sort of the tool stations. But I really wanted to show you the tool station on the wall here. It is really detailed, and I don't know if this is a custom made thing or a included in the scenery editor. You know, it's a default sort of asset, but that is very, very detailed. So if Ehindur, again, I really am sorry about the pronunciation there, but if you do watch this, mate, and if you did do this, then props. But even so, going through the scenery editor and picking out the assets for these sceneries is a task as well. It's not the most user-friendly experience. That's coming from me anyway, but it really isn't. But they're very, very detailed tools. So cool. Let's have a little look in the control tower, because we will move on to our first of 2 aircraft. So we've got a nice little mixture today. We've got 2 aircraft and we've got 2 sceneries and 2 airports. So which is nice little mixture. And again, this is all avatar walkable. So maybe we should do that, because we're not too far away, are we? Let's be honest. Let's have a little walk in here. If you are part of my Discord as well, guys, have a little look. I've made some new sections for Flight Simulator, Microsoft Flight Simulator on console. So if you're an Xbox user, post your screenshots, have a little chat in there. I've also posted a PS5 section. The reason why I've posted the PS5 section is because I as well as others, but I am now part of the beta testing, I guess, team. But I was accepted onto the beta testing, which, by the way, I'm also able to share as well as others. We are able to share things now. There doesn't seem to be any kind of rules in place. So you'll find some PlayStation 5 screenshots on my Discord as well as my social media. I am just trying to think in my head how I'm going to maybe do either a live stream, because I can live stream from my PS5, but there won't be any camera. I also don't have a headset, so I need to figure out all that. But I do plan on doing a PS5 live stream, either showing footage or actually live playing it as well. It is mad that we can share it. I was a bit like confused, but yeah, I will be doing some kind of PS5 beta live stream at some point, hopefully this week. I don't want to leave it too long, but yeah, there is PS5 content being shown now, guys. So keep in mind, it's still in beta form. It's obviously it's not the final product. I can hear actual talking. But yeah, pretty cool. Is there a link to your Discord, Brian? Yeah, in the description, mate. It should have an invite there with like an infinite kind of sort of, you know, invite thing, whatever you call it. Yeah, but Dave, there should be, mate. I'm on all the social medias as well, if you're on there. But yeah, the description should be there, mate. Let's have a little look and make sure it is there. Yeah, it is there. Just further down, it says Lex Connect. Discord is the first one. But yeah, there's some PS5 screenshots in there. Guys, let me know what you think. I will try my best to get some footage as well that I can either live stream, as I say, from the PS5, or I'll record a lot of video clips direct from the PS5 and then basically just play them over this situation, because, as I say, live streaming from PS5, I don't have a microphone, I don't have a webcam either, which isn't a problem. I can live stream faceless. I just don't have a microphone. So, and then there's some of the controllers upstairs. This guy looks very official, I must admit. Is he on WhatsApp as well? He is, yeah. But yeah, it's a lovely detailed little airfield, and you've got some of the official charts there as well. And yeah, everything's nicely detailed. And again, we're looking at freeware sceneries, guys. This is another one where, in my opinion, it could be sold as a payware. Oh, fell down the stairs there. There we go. Not too much different to real life. Yeah. So what I want to show you next, we're going to stay here, but we are going to... Here I am, a bit too late. No, not at all, Antonio, mate. Not at all, mate. You might want to kind of rewind it, but we're looking at, again, terrible pronunciation, Oppdal, Fagerhaug Airport. It's, what was it? Echo November, Oscar Papa in Norway. It's Ehindur or Ehindur. That's the thing. If someone's got a really interesting username and it's hard to pronounce, then you have to just mind my pronunciation. But anyway, guys, we're gonna have a look at something really funny. Now, this is probably one of a few times, or at least within my threshold of how silly and funny I will go with the add-ons, because I know, just so you guys know, I try and stay away from some of the payware that's ridiculously priced and pretty terrible. I also try and stay away from freeware that is just a bit too silly. And I know it's free, and I know people have made it, but some of the stuff that you can download is a bit too, like... I just rather wouldn't have it on the channel. It's not that I find, you know, the effort bad. It's just, you know... cloud cities and stuff like that, there's a time and place. That's all. Yeah, a lot of nice freeware, and obviously the creator himself, he's doing a lot. This is his newest one. I've purposely left out some of the older ones, but he was the chap who did the Voss airfield. But yeah, I just want to show you this one. I'm going to go back to that screen because I want to show you this one. This is as silly as I will go, but I can never find it on the actual... There it is there. Well, it's Oppdal, Antonio. It's not Varga or Vega. It's I think it's a bit smaller than that one. But we're going to stay there. We're going to stay in Oppdal anyway, because I want to show you this little beauty. And listen, this is, although it's not a drivable vehicle, let's just put it that way. It's not a drivable vehicle, guys. So, but in terms of how fun it is, and if you are going to go and download this and have a little go in it, then I'll show you a couple of tips on how to make it look a bit real, a bit more, you know, like you. Anyway. Can you see it? Yeah. Can you see it? Where's it gone? Where's it? Guys, we have got.
You need to set parking brakes to request ground services.
I don't think GSX works with this. I'll be honest. But here is a little well-made RC plane. Lex is good. Late, no worries, guys. Yeah, I'm going to be here for the next hour and a half still. I'm good, mate. Thanks for coming in. But, guys, look at this. Now, I don't know how old this is, but I saw it sort of, you know, hidden away on flightsim.to in, like, the other aircraft category, you know, the really, you know, the deeper corners of flightsim.to. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to have a little look at this because, well, it is Flight Simulator, isn't it? And it's very well made. We've got a bit of, like, sort of, I think that's pure collision. The back wheel there, that's just, yeah, I'm not too concerned about that. But how detailed is it, by the way? Like, it's so cool. All the little wires, the battery, the little markings inside. And the default view is this. which you can move about. Now, obviously,
You need to set parking brakes to request ground services.
In this situation, this is probably the view if you hooked up a camera to it. Now, obviously, you can go ahead and, you know, and that's how detailed things are, guys. Look at that. All the components have got, you know, the component names on them. Couple of little flickers here and there, but yeah, you could even put it maybe there. You know, because I know people do put action cameras in RC planes, but it's pretty cool to maybe, I don't know whether you could mount two and have one on the wing. But certainly having it up here, I don't know if it would fly with an action cam. But do you know what I mean? It's fun. It's fun. The best way to experience this, in my opinion, and here's a couple of tips. Try and make it look like you are actually flying an RC plane. So the best way to do that is to, and this comes back to my little camera tutorial that I did on my live stream. Go into your showcase camera and stick on the lock mode. And what you'll get is obviously this camera. And in this instance, you will want to zoom in. And again, obviously, it's not going to zoom in on the aircraft. So what you have to do is go back into your drone camera, uncheck it, angle the camera down, and then lock it back into place. And now what you've got is a viewpoint like you are flying. A viewpoint like you're flying an RC plane. So all you do now, technically, you're in showcase camera. You can't control the aircraft. You can. There's a toggle. You can type on. You can type. I'm not too sure what it is. Let's double check it, guys, because I did this in my camera live stream. But you can go into keyboard. Is it control? It's what did I say it was? Let me just double check in my I've actually got a toggle on my Stream Deck. So it is Alt B. Toggle plane controls. So it might not be Alt B on yours, but control plane controls will allow you to go into. And this works with all aircraft. You can do the same thing even if it's not an RC plane. What you can then do is click on control aircraft.
You need to set parking brakes to request ground services.
And then now you can see I'm actually in the viewpoint of the camera. Now, unfortunately, I can't move the camera around at this point, so I am stuck at this viewpoint. There's no way of moving the camera and control the plane at the same time. But I can start this little engine. And taxi out. I won't use the actual runway because honestly I won't be able to see the aircraft. But now you have the sort of the viewpoint of how what you would when you are actually controlling a real RC plane. You know, you'll be standing there with the controller and you'll see it go off. I'm gonna send it back now. It's not the flight dynamics, guys. Don't expect it to be amazing, because it's not. Woo! So yeah, if you're ever wondering if you can do RC pilots in Microsoft Flight Simulator, you can, and it didn't cost me a penny. Oh. And that's the best way I can obviously say control it. Now you can go into the other camera, and there's the other camera, which is pretty cool. I just don't feel like you get the sense of scale when you're in this camera. probably the better camera to use when you are wanting to land, because you can actually just hover this in like a helicopter most of the time. But yeah, you can fly RC planes on Microsoft Flight Simulator. And you know what, guys? Just for a little bit of fun, it is really fun. Yeah, yeah, there we go. Pretty cool. It's very fun. Flyby. And honestly, that's the best way I can say to do it. Get yourself into the showcase camera, fiddle about with the showcase camera, toggle plane controls, and then you've got it. Hey, look at that. Bit of fun, as I say, bit of fun. It's little fun sense of scale. You know, you can whip it around some, you know, trees, and you know, maybe you loop yourself through some small gaps. But I really hope the creators create more. You know, he creates more aircraft, because it'd be fun to have some, you know, fast little jets. should have went down in a bit of smoke there, but oh well. It's fun. It's fun. And then that's how you crash. Like that. You can get to a point where you can actually land the thing pretty nicely. I was practicing for about half an hour, maybe a bit longer, but I was having a little practice of landings, and it's a bit of fun, guys. You know, it's a freeware. You know, I've seen some payware stuff that's even more silly. I'd rather have this than any M scenery aircraft, put it that way. I would have paid for this the price that they're charging. Bit of a dig at M scenery there, but you know, is what it is. Here we go, guys. Hit the wing. There we go. We flipped. But yeah, I mean, it's a bit of fun. Your camera will start going a bit lopsided as well. That's the only caveat, I think. But yeah, you can just flick between the cameras, and there he is there. I thought people would actually enjoy that, because it's a bit silly. There's no park and brake on it. It'll just keep on going. Until you actually power it off. But yeah, RC plane, if you want to have a little go, there's no deliveries for it. It's link below if you want to try it out. Bit of fun for yourselves. It's called the remote controlled RANs, not the vans, the RANs. S73 by F7 Simulations. So really, really cool. Really enjoy it, and I do like to mess with the drone camera to give you that sort of authentic camera placement as well, which is pretty cool. So yeah, let's have a little look. So we seem to be flying through these because the last couple of the last two we're going to spend a bit more time on them, especially the very, very last scenery, which I'm very, very excited to show, actually, because it's not been long out, and I don't think many people are aware of it just yet. So the next aircraft we are going to take a look at, and we're going to have a little fly in it, and it's not really meant to, I guess, be something that you're going to fly routes or anything, but it's another conversion. So I think it's an FSX conversion, but I know some freeware creators are doing a lot of conversions, and then there's some doing them to a really nice standard. They're not just converting the model over, doing the necessaries and then putting it in. They're spending a bit more time on, making it look like part of the modern day simulator, and obviously making it all work. Now, I haven't really done a test of any kind of route here, but we could potentially, I think that might be fine. So this is Burton and Blues Rochester. We're not taking a look at that, but we will use it in this instance just for a short flight. Because we are going to take a look at the newest DSDSimulations aircraft, the Freeware aircraft. If I can get to type properly. And it's this. Obviously, we've had the Avro Anson on the live stream before. I haven't featured the Hawker Fury. Again, very, very nice aircraft. Foldable wings, really, really cool. We're going to look at the Westland Lysander. Let me see, because you've got quite a few liveries. This is a good thing about DSDSimulations, is they always go really all out with their livery, sort of, the liveries that are included. I haven't flown this one yet. Looks like a Canadian registration possibly, but this is a lovely grey one. But you've got a fair few. Really, really nice. In fact, we might go in this one. I don't know. I like the grey one though. I like the grey one. That's really, really nice. So again, one of the newer aircrafts. This has been out for a couple of days now. One thing I will point out with this one is if you download it for 2020, you will have sounds. I think it uses one of the older aircraft's default sounds. I'm not too sure exactly which one it is, but on 2024, it don't have sounds. If you want sounds, message me. If you download this and you really want to fly it with sound, which you probably would do, it won't have its authentic sounds. It's a conversion. It's using other aircraft sounds. The 2024 version does not have it just yet. There is a way you can do it. Message me on Discord or social media. I will send you the complete CFG file that you just have to replace the existing one with, and it's dead simple. Bit of a faff to do if you're doing it on your own, but if someone copies and pastes the whole thing for you, it's great. It's all good. But if you've seen any of DSDSimulations conversion aircraft like the Anson or the Sea Fury and a couple of others, you'll know the external modeling is pretty well done. The conversion model is very, very nice. Very, very nice. The cockpits aren't too bad either. But the external modeling is very, very nice. Really, really nice. Yeah, you get up close, you're gonna see the imperfections compared to something like a default native aircraft or a third party payware aircraft on Flight Sim 2024. But it almost reminds me of a butterfly or a moth or something like that. It's yeah. It's got its charms. We'll have a little look over in drone mode before we take it up into the skies. And we'll take it up into the skies and we'll go to our last freeware scenery. We will spend a bit more time on that. It's a lot bigger and there's a lot more to speak about with it. But yeah, this is the DSDSimulations Westland Lysander, and as you can see, it's a beautiful looking aircraft. Really, really nice conversion. Really, really cool. And like I said, there isn't any sounds in the 2024 version. But if you are interested in flying this and you do actually really want to have a go, message me on Discord or social media, and I will send you what to copy and paste in one of the files. It's dead easy. It's dead easy if you don't do it that way, but there's a bit more of copy and pasting involved. You have to do a couple of lines of it, but it's fairly straightforward. But yeah, let's get it up now. One little thing that I will mention, and the guys at DSDSimulations know about this, but certainly in my instance, I cannot seem to control the aircraft, unfortunately. Although that might sort our problem actually. So I'll double check that. It's got a animated canopy. The issue is, right now I can click what's clickable, start the aircraft and prime it and stuff like that. Use the throttle. But once the aircraft is up in the air, or at least starting, and the canopy is up, I can't interact with anything. That's something that I'm having an issue with that doesn't look like anyone else is having an issue with. Or not certainly anything that people have reported. But I don't know how to start this from cold and dark. It probably isn't going to be the same as the actual aircraft itself. But we could have a little go, because there's certainly no problem trying. Let's have a little look. I'll prime it. We had to prime the engine on the PA-28 yesterday. That was pretty cool to see. Battery, I guess. There's probably not much in terms of interactable switches on this one. But again, it is a conversion, so it would make sense. Right, let's see if we can actually start it up. That looks like the starting one, so there's probably something I haven't done right here. Got landing lights, which seem to be operational, which is quite good to see. Oh, and the engine cowls do actually animate as well. Pretty cool. But in terms of actually starting here, haven't got a clue. Haven't got a clue. There's probably something I haven't done, but if you guys can actually know, then I can't see anything, because it's obviously it's an old aircraft. It probably hasn't got a "this is how you turn me on" switch. Haha, I know, but I usually would, and in this case I probably will. So as you can hear, we do have sounds. Now these are, I chose to use I think it's the Reno race planes. I think the T6. I think. So it has got sounds. They sound like they match the aircraft, which is pretty good. You know, that's all we really need in this case. Now, again, something I have told DSDSimulations, but in terms of the actual This is delayed. It will close over once you click it. But once it is clicked over and once it is closed, it won't let you interact with anything else, which is pretty odd. But I did do a free lock, so you can see it's going over now, and you see it's highlighted. So if I want to use the keybind for my throttle, for example, or even if I wanted to use my throttle, it's just going to do the canopy again. That is the issue that I'm facing. There's no way to fix that. Not too sure why. So in the case of this aircraft, because really it's kind of it's nicer on the inside. You know, visually, it's quite nice on the inside, and not to be completely dingy on it, but you know, it is a conversion. It's most things seem, well, not most things, but a certain amount works. But like I've said, the DSDSimulation stuff is really that exterior model, really nice. No issues about flying it inside, apart from the canopy issue, which again only seems to be affecting me. I have restarted it and stuff, but reinstalled it is what I mean. But oh, hang on. Oh, I've fixed it. Okay, moving the camera about has fixed the issue where it's sticking on the thing. So anyway, if you do have that issue, move your camera around, not in this way, but if you move backwards and forwards, for some reason, it seems to have unstuck. So I can now take the brake off. Okay, we're learning something on the stream. There we go. So this aircraft is going to take us up north to our other Freeware add-on, which is an airport. It's a scenery. It's from one of the top creators on flightsim.to, who's only ever created one other scenery. But we'll get there and I'll show you, because it's fantastic. It really is. This is probably not the way you taxi out to the runway at where are we, Rochester, but it is what it is. I just want to get it up in the air because I don't know how long. I haven't done a test of this route yet. I don't know how long it's going to take us, but yeah. And it's a tail dragger, so please bear with me. You'll have to beware with when I actually try and land at our destination as well. We're up already. There we go, guys. Look at that. And the actual sounds aren't too bad. As I say, I'm using the T6. I think the Reno Air Race sounds. And again, if you want to try it out with the sounds, let me know and I can send you exactly what you need to paste over. Inside your community folder, inside the folder of this aircraft, there's a CFG file which will open as a Word, open as a notepad document, and you can just copy the code over. Dead easy to do. But very unique looking sort of wings, in my opinion, because the body looks a bit like possibly a T6 actually, or even an old Yak 52. I actually saw 3 of those parked up at Sleep Airport where I was yesterday in real life. Pretty cool to see. But we are going to go north. Hopefully we'll make it in time. We have got a fair amount of time. What I'm going to do is And the sounds are great. Obviously, the sounds aren't authentic to the aircraft by any means, but they sound pretty nice, you know. The pilot's probably not authentic to the time, but they certainly look the part. As I say, you get a fair amount of liveries as part of this as well. Again, and it's freeware. You know, it does take a bit of time, even though it's a conversion. It still takes people time to do this. Let me, and you can see now that we're in October. So we've got the lovely reds and the oranges of the trees, and obviously the fields have lost the colours as well. See, we now get some kind of seasons in 2024. Let's have a little look. I need a code. I need a code. So obviously, in terms of flight model, I know, you know, a certain amount has been done to the flight model, but it's not there to replicate the actual flight model, of course. I think you've got the code online. you've got it. You got it wrong there, haven't you? Oh, the map's put me all the way down there for. EGTO. I was going in the right direction, which is pretty good. I've got me me inner compass working at least. Do a little bit of a turn there just to get us back on the line. Obviously, I don't have any G1000 in this thing, so as long as I stay straight, or at least, you know, follow the line, we'll be fine. Oh, I'm a poet and I don't know it. Does anyone like me today? No? But I've already got people obviously messaging on Discord for the code for the aeroplane. Obviously the aircraft's a freeware, so it's free. Yeah, the link for it is in the description. The Westland Lysander DSDSimulations, the link's there. You download it for 2020 or 2024. If you've got it on 2020, you don't. If you're flying it on 2020, guys, you don't need that code off me because it's the sounds already work. It's fine. Antonio, yeah, I mean, the thing is, but you could also try and you can pick whatever aircraft you've got installed on your flight sim. So if you've got something with a more suitable aircraft or a suitable sound in that aircraft CFG file, you can easily manipulate and tell the freeware what aircraft you want to use, as long as you've got it in your simulator. You know what, Dookie, I've already noticing that, as well as some other things with Sim Update 3. It's a bit weird. But yeah, the reason why I just put the T6 was purely because that was the one that was mentioned on the downloads page. Over there you get a good view of London City Airport as well, more specifically over here. But yeah, it doesn't sound too bad with the T6 sounds, I guess. But yeah, you can manipulate this to do whatever sounds. You know, you could put a F-18 engine sounds in that if you wanted, but it's gonna be weird. So with this one, guys, just so you're up to speed with it. So, stepping back into the days of World War II, DSDSimulations Westland Lysander, meticulously recreated classic brought natively to Microsoft Flight Simulator, known for its distinctive high-wing design and remarkable short takeoff and landing. The Lysander earned its reputation as an aircraft that could go anywhere, and it often did. Lovingly converted with permission from FS Add-on model, this is a new addition, takes full advantage of the modern simulator's visual fidelity and flight dynamics. Every rivet, strut, fabric panel has been carefully optimized to deliver an authentic experience, whether you're performing coastal patrols, liaison missions, or daring night insertions into the enemy, behind enemy lines. I nearly got it all done, but as you can see, obviously with the conversion you are getting some of the, even though it's not pin sharp, you are still getting some of the added detail of those guys adding it into the new simulator as well. Key features: faithfully recreated the Lysander with native materials and animations. Correct, accurate flight model tuned for the aircraft's unique stall characteristics. Optional loadouts. The loadouts. That's something I want to show you, but I haven't done yet. But I'll try and do it in the live stream. It's got a lovely array of liveries. Of course, we've seen them, and then obviously we've got the light and the propeller animations as well. And obviously, it goes without saying, big thanks to FS Add-ons for the permissions for DSDSimulations to go ahead and convert this over. Now, the loadouts, I believe, are done with the... Is it the weight, possibly? I'm not too sure. Is it done with the weight? Not 100% sure, because I didn't do it in the... Oh yeah, hang on. You have to do it maybe before you get into the air. I'm not too sure. Possibly. Maybe before you get into the aircraft. We'll take a look at that once we're down on the ground. But that is how you do it. I will try it when we're on the ground, just so you guys can see it. Although someone did mention after the last update the loadouts aren't seeming to work, so maybe it might not be something I can show you at this point. But we'll have a go. We'll pick another livery once we're down underground at our destination. And with that being said, I am going to have to double check what we are, where we are. See if this is going to take... no, it's not too bad. We can certainly fly it. Below us there we have... who is that below us? That might not be an active airfield. Oh no, that looks like North Weald, I think that is, isn't it? Another Burn and Blue Designs airfield. Yeah, it is, definitely. Weld, North Weald, Weld, I don't know. Pronunciations, even English ones, are terrible, guys, so you got no hope with me. But yeah, lovely model. Yeah, so it doesn't look like the loadouts work, but I will double check it when we get on the ground and load it back in and see if it loads with the loadouts and see if that makes a difference. But yeah, over across the top we might even get a glimpse of... no, yeah, Stansted over there. Spot on. I think we should. Do a little dive down and get a bit lower. Don't know why I'm so high. Ooh, dive bump. Oh, look at that. Go a bit lower, get in the autumn scenery on our way over. And where we going, I wouldn't say is particularly authentic to this aircraft, and vice versa, but it'll be REET, it'll be fine. A little bit of some iron brew there, because my... oh yeah. So yeah, if you are watching today, enjoying it, obviously leave me a like, consider subscribing of course, and if you are rewatching, same as you guys, if you can leave a comment. If I can start getting people's freeware recommendations, more notably 2024 recommendations, or at least add-ons that work for both, not so much maybe native 2024 ones, maybe work for both. But if you do have any freeware that you're using currently, scenery, aircraft, anything, let me know in the comments, or as I say, pop it into my freeware section on Discord, and I will take a look at them. Because as you know, and as I keep on talking about, is that the channel started to get backed into a corner, didn't it? It started to go to a, and that's my fault, of course, but it started getting to a point of where I was just doing one video type and it just didn't make sense. The channel all started with me on, Flight Sim 2020, looking at sceneries, flying over different landmarks and all that type of business, and it quickly just got stuck in just doing trailers and cinematics. And although I love doing them, I also do love doing other videos. So the channel now is trying to get into a nice mixture of content where you might find something that you like rather than it just being one particular genre of video, and that is what it's all about. I don't want to be stuck in this thing of being known, of just being known for those type of videos, because that's not how the channel started. So you will see more freeware stuff being added on. You might start seeing payware reviews. It's definitely something that I'm looking at doing more, but way back then when I was doing it, I could make a video daily. I could get an uploaded video every day nearly. There's no way I can do that. This is why, oh pardon me, that's why I've started live streaming more, if you're wondering, because it's a bit more feasible for me to do. It's a lot easier for me to do a live stream than it is to do any pre-recorded content. That's not to say I'm not going to be doing any pre-recorded content. Definitely something I still will be doing. Look at that big gap in the road there. Look at that. Oh, they need to sort that out, the cancel around here. But yeah, we'll still be doing me pre-recorded videos. It's just obviously it's easier to do live streams. I also thought these hay bales were actually part of scenery. These seem to be default. They seem to be generated into fields, which is pretty cool. I thought it was part of scenery, but it's not. It seems to be part of just the default landscape, which is pretty cool. So let's see, because we should really be making our way. We went off course a bit, just a bit. And by the way, Duxford isn't where we're going. I've used it as a bit of a guide. Because what we're going to be doing, folks, is Duxford was a bit of a clue, but you'll know, and if you do like to explore freeware sceneries, and if you do like to fly in the UK, you'll know that there is a Duxford freeware that is just immaculate. It's by ChicoMick. I've talked about it a lot on live streams and on the channel before. It's one of my favourite. I also know a lot of other people love the scenery. You know, still one of the top downloaded sceneries on flightsim.to, and ChicoMick did an absolutely incredible job. You can get the airshow add-on for it. You can get like a light version, which isn't as CPU and GPU intensive, and then you can get the complete version, which is just you know, the best version to have. Now, oddly enough, I didn't think that ChicoMick would actually make any other sceneries. I thought that Duxford was his baby and he might update it a bit and carry on. But it's good to see that he has actually released another scenery not far from Duxford. And this one's incredible because it isn't actually a current airfield. It's a World War II airfield. So this is going to be like stepping back in time. This is Bassingbourn, the US base, RAF, but used by the United States Air Force in World War II. I believe this is where the B-17 was based at. So 1943. So this is the depiction of the airfield in 1943, and I think that is it here. I think. Let me just double check. It probably isn't now. No, that isn't. But let me just double check. So this has got the code Echo X-Ray Bravo Sierra, and it's just over this way. But yeah, this is the latest from ChicoMick. So he hasn't took a current airport like he did with Duxford. He took a airfield that doesn't exist anymore. Partly there in still, you can go there and see some of the old hangars, and I think some of the taxiway and runway is still visible. But he's completely taken away all of the surrounding scenery because it is quite a big, it's a fairly sized scenery, an airfield. So it depicts the scenery as obviously as it was back then, 1943, during the occupation of the USA Air Force, the 21st Bomb Group. And it's fantastic. Now you do, if you go onto the download page, you will need one more thing. A dependency is what they call it, or a library, and you need the IPDC vehicle library. An extra free download available from flightsim.to. It is in the download page. Download that, put it into the community folder along with RAF Bassingbourn. And there is a version for 2024 and 2020, so keep that in mind as well, guys. This doesn't work on 2020 and 2024. There's two versions. You obviously download the one that you want to use. So over to the right is Duxford, which we might be able to see somewhere. I think it's more over here actually. And then over here is where we need to be. And like I said, this isn't just taking an already existing airport or airfield, aerodrome, whatever you want to call it, and upgrading it. This is a completely, and you will see it if you install this on your world map. You'll see the actual satellite imagery of the space. So when you start zooming in, you'll see the actual satellite imagery for how it looks now. And when you get closer, you actually see ChicoMick's scenery. It's fantastic. It really is. It's using his sort of attention to detail that he used with Duxford to create, and obviously it's created with, so it's created as authentic. This is what it says on the download page: created as authentic as possible using available documents and photos of the base from that period. It's actually still property of the Ministry of Defence, so obviously there is a limit to how much Chico's been able to do. Obviously, the likes of Duxford is an active airfield. It's also a museum as well, so a lot easier for people to get reference photos of. This is still Ministry of Defence, but yeah, a lot of the surrounding countryside and I think some of the nearby town is also being excluded in the scenery, which is fantastic. Really, really is. Let's have a little looky look, because the aircraft seems like it gets close and then it's still way off. Yeah, we're not too far now. On this image, you can actually see the current imagery, satellite imagery of Bassingbourn, which is here. Some of the runway and taxiway, but most of the aprons where the hangars are still there. But yeah, I thought it'd be nice to take a flight in here. Obviously, not too much to see in terms of the cockpit, but lovely little aircraft to fly in. Definitely, if you want to start practicing your short takeoff and landings in a sort of a completely different style of aircraft, and you can actually see Bassingbourn now coming into view, just over here. The whole area completely redone to fit the base as it was back then. But we will take, obviously, we'll land, we'll taxi, and we'll see if we can get the loadouts to work on this aircraft. If not, we'll then start taking a look around the base, because it's another lovely little creative freeware from ChicoMick. So like I said, guys, on my Discord, I have started to create a section for Microsoft Flight Simulator on console. Now, I don't own the Xbox version, but I am part of the beta testing for the PS5, and I have started sharing images of the PS5 version of the simulator if you're interested in taking a look at that. I do want to do a live stream. Right now I'm currently debating on how I would do it, either a live stream right from the actual PlayStation 5 itself, so I can actually show you it on screen as it goes, or just caption footage and basically like we are now, but you're just seeing footage of the PS5 version, so I can still kind of talk to you. I don't know how I would do it on PS5 a live stream. As I say, I don't have a headset. I don't know if this particular headset works on the PS5, so we will see, and I will make sure that that's scheduled in for as soon as possible, because obviously there's things I want to chat about and sort of share as much as I'm able to of the experience so far. So there, as you can see, the US base, all of the buildings custom modeled, the runways, the taxiways. You can even see the B-17, the static models, and there's a lot of static people. There's quite a lot of clutter and detail in this one, guys, so it's been done to a good standard. If you've downloaded Duxford, you'll kind of know what you are gonna get with this one. And as you can see there, and a little circle of it, and then we'll try and land this thing, because it is a tail dragger, and I hate them. Well, I'm not the best at landing any kind of plane, to be fair, but tail draggers even less. But yeah, you've got all those buildings, the massive hangars, which again, you know, they're still viewable there, they're still there, and it's fantastic. And I'm sure, obviously, ChicoMick will continue to possibly work on this, but I'd love to see him do a lot more. And as I say, I wasn't really expecting him to do anything else. I don't know why. But yeah, it's all there, and it's very, very detailed. There's quite a lot to see with this one, guys. That's why I've kind of left it to last. And right now, as the time stands, we are looking good to have a good look around it. All the courtyards and flags, and as I say, there's many static people down there. And again, it's just authentic. It's very very well done. I'm going to try and land this before we take a look around at Bassingbourn. We will try and see if the loadouts will work. I'm hoping they do. I'm surprised I haven't actually stalled this yet, but it is a great short takeoff and landing aircraft. Bit of a stutter there, but there's some troops there on their bikes. Wow, look at that. Hey, that wasn't too bad, was it? Hey, look at that. Don't tip it. Don't tip it. There we go, guys. So we've taken a little step back in time. And we're now back in 1943 at US base Bassingbourn. Very cool. I love the idea. Now I know there's guys, I can't remember the name. It might be something like Time Travel Studios, but I know there's guys doing another. I think it's an RAF base further north, and they're currently building again another time specific scenery. And I do love the idea of airfields that are set back in a different time period. I love that we can not just fly to current ones all over the world, but we've also got options that are being made that you can go and visit ones like this, which is pretty cool. I'm not going to tax any further down, folks. I'm just going to try and bring this to a stop without tipping it. Nah, not bad. I didn't tip it. That's a win. That's a win. And like I said, I would like to see, just before we have a little look around at this fantastic looking, airfield that we haven't even got anymore, for the most part. I'm going to check to see if we can get some of the loadouts to work. We'll have a little look at one of the other liveries. What should we look at? We'll have a little look at... This one's got like a lovely little orange propeller, God knows, whatever you'd like to call it, on it. Let's see if we can actually add some of the cargo on there. And if you're wondering, we are just over to the east of Duxford and Falmere, which is another Burn and Blue design scenery. And I'll show you what I mean by the map. So right now you can see the current land as it appears now. And then when you start zooming in, you'll see it change. Which is cool because we can see... Actually, you can also see that some of the... a fair chunk of the taxiways are still there. It's, again, pretty cool. That's, that in itself, that is a lot of work to do. It also looks like some of these are still active there, but again, it's not something. It's not a place you could go and visit as an explorer, I guess. But there you go, guys. You can actually see the work that ChicoMick's done to bring all that in. I don't know if this is going to work, but we will have a little check and see. I don't know if we can do it from here, though. That's the thing. Did we do it from here? Because I can't remember. I think it was just from the cargo, yeah. Let's have a little look and see. It seems to spin here and says it's failing. So, unfortunately, unless the guys, fail to load. So, I think until DSDSimulations get onto another update, I won't be able to show you the loadouts, unfortunately. I don't have a clue on what they look like. Let me see if there's any pictures of it on here. But again, that'll be something that you guys can go off and have a look at on the download page. Yeah, you can see some of the loadouts on there. Which look pretty cool. Some of the bombs on the sort of the front sort of fins that it adds onto the wheel struts, and a big massive bomb underneath as well. So hopefully DSDSimulations get that sorted out. But we'll drop our Lysander in here. Now, I believe there's a B17 release this week for the simulator, so this will be a lovely chance to download this. If you did go ahead and buy the B17, you'll be able to go and get this for free and do some really authentic flying. And there we go, guys. There we go. There's the Lysander, but there is the B17s and the lovely big hangars. Which these there's a couple of airfields around the United Kingdom that also have these style of hangars. In fact, the actual sort of curved pattern, which I'll show you now. We'll have to go into drone mode for this, but as you can see, the way they curve around, bit like RAF Finningley, which is of course Doncaster Sheffield. God, I think that's correct. Apologies if that is completely off, but the ex-RAF base there, the pattern of this layout is quite similar, and there's others as well with the same layout. But as you can see, it's not just the fact that the whole of the base has been done. It's every stand, every apron is full with detail. So as well as the static aircraft being there, there is there's crews, there's bikes, there's ground vehicles, there's huts. We will obviously take a look all the way back here. All the B-17s on stand. And as you can see, and this is what I mean by ChicoMick's attention to detail. Ooh, a couple of little pop-ins there, but it is what it is. There you go. These guys are waiting to be called off. And again, they're static, and they're not, they're not static INI build sort of quality. I say INI builds because obviously they use static people, but they use people models that have been obviously purchased at a very high price. And these I can imagine they might have been purchased, but I guess these are basic assets that can be downloaded. Now obviously ChicoMick can't exactly use the avatars because they're going to be dressed in modern day uniforms, so there's all that to consider. They've got all their bikes there as well. Look at the actual, I mean, that's 2D, but it looks pretty cool. He's even got a look. I would say that was coffee. If it's a tea, then it's been absolutely yeah, that would be a tea that wouldn't be drunk by me. The bikes are really cool as well. And looks like the guys have had to run off though, haven't they? Because they've left all their coffees. All the tents, all the tents have got their rope and their string, attachments into the ground as well. I mean, it's very detailed. And like I said, if you have gone ahead and bought the recently released B17, I forget who that was released by, sorry, but you've got a lovely freeware airport here to do some role play and some operations. And if you are just joining us now, we're taking a look at ChicoMick, obviously the creator behind Duxford, the Duxford scenery, which if you haven't got, you need to go and get, regardless if you fly in the UK or not. ChicoMick this week has released a historical scenery, so a scenery that depicts, it's a depiction of the scenery back then and not now. And it's so cool. It really is. It's, put a black and white filter on this and, it'd be cool. I think you can probably do that on here. What can we do that? Can we do that? You probably can. You probably can. I don't know, can we? I don't know, can we? I don't even know if it's on the right overlay, to be honest with you. No, it's not. That's why. God, where's my window capture for this? Is that it? Yeah, okay, fair enough. There we go. Authentic now. It's authentic. Look at this. I won't put any sound effects like old World War sound. But yeah. And like I said before, it's a massive space, not just in terms of the scenery itself, but square footage, the actual size of the airfield. These guys going off. I mean, it's cool having the the filter, but I'll turn it off. I'll turn it off. Because at the end of the day, that's only what it looked like on screen. It wouldn't. It would have been color, obviously. But yeah, it's such a, like I said before, detailed. It's a ChicoMick thing. He did he did an amazing job with Duxford. Duxford is an incredible scenery. And Duxford's, it just, apart from probably, airline routes, it can do everything else. Helicopter flights, sightseeing, air shows, obviously regular there anyway. So air shows, GA flying, Warbird flying. I think there's, I'm pretty sure the Spitfires that are based there. This one obviously a bit more specific, but equally as detailed. Can you go under these nets under here? Look at this. There you go, guys. And that netting, it's not individual bits of, netting and sort of camouflage, but it looks really, really good. And then I think this is the library download that you have to include. So you do have to download this and put this in your community folder along with it. But it will give you obviously a whole host of World War era vehicles. But every ape and every little inch of the scenery for where it needs to be populated is populated. Pretty cool. And such a cool idea. Like I said before, the idea of creating airfields, not just recreating them and giving us a more detailed rendition of a current airfield, but actually giving us a rendition of an historic airfield and letting us go back in time in the simulator is great. Now, the guys who are doing, I think they're doing, is it Fenley? I think there's another developer doing, I think it's a payware one though, is doing another historical airfield. And these guys also did something called Arrows Across America, which was the old postage system, which was back in, when was it? 1926, I think, is the date I can remember. But it only properly works on Flight Sim 2020, but that is another fantastic freeware. If you're interested in that, let me know. But those creators, they created some of the old airfields across America with some stunning hangars, old World War, sort of First World War back then era hangars, and they're well done. And again, it's a freeware one, but they created the route that the postage planes used to fly, and actual big arrows and flashing beacons on the ground to guide these pilots across the US on where they were going. So a land-based navigational aid. It was fantastic, and those guys did it. It doesn't really work in 2024. You can still see some of the things that they've done, but it's better in 2020. It is something that I want to explore a bit more, because 2024 is my simulator of choice at the minute. So I'd like to dive into 2020 and take a look at how it looks properly, because, as I say, that looks great. It's called Arrows. Is it Arrows in or Over America? Need to check that one out. That's a brilliant one. And of course, obviously, obviously Bassingbourn that we're taking a look at by ChicoMick. And this is obviously the main body of the aerodrome. And just as detailed, if not obviously more densely populated, because you are getting to the main sort of section of the airfield. Look at these guys here, hard at work, loading up rations and ammunition. Fantastic. This looks like one of the maybe the sergeants or the colonels. I don't know. I don't know the terminology. Corporal, I don't know if they're a bit different in America, but he's definitely overseeing the operations there. These guys up on the bikes coming in after cycling over from their aircraft. These guys working on the B-17. I think it's a B-17. He's actually inside it. This dude up a ladder as well. And again, even though they are static, Chico has created a scene. He's really created the scene there, hasn't he? It hasn't got the propellers on it actually, so they are working on it, getting it ready for another bombing run. Again, loads of lovely details. Soldiers on bikes. Not too sure what this is. I don't know. Possibly toilets, maybe. I don't know. Again, the actual street lamps as well, all how what they'd look, how they'd look back then, I don't know. But it's so cool. It's like stepping back in time, which is the idea, isn't it? So many buildings, and they're not just, these aren't default buildings. These have all been brought in. These guys waving to each other there. Some of the US wagons as well. Again, you will need that separate library to have all of the vehicles in there. The scenery will still work, of course, but obviously you'd want to have the wagons and the trucks and stuff. Little bike shed there as well. Even the corporals and lieutenants and everything, they still have to ride. They don't get special treatment. That looks like their quarters there, where they sleep and have their meals. It's very well done. You've even got the electric wires and the poles, and nice little use of landscaping here with the water. And this is actually water, so it's quite interesting what he's done here, because obviously this is water that has been, I think, auto-genned in, or at least where the water would be nowadays. And I don't know if this can be excluded, but what ChicoMick's done here is he's actually just added a model, or what I'm guessing anyway, is he's added a model of this over the water source, so you can't actually see where what it is, like a pond or something. Most developers I've seen in the past, if they want to create something like this, would just add in a fake water texture, and it wouldn't move. So this is quite clever. It's very well done. I like that he's done that rather than just put a fake water texture in. That's cool. That's really well done. More bike sheds and little bunkers. And then the, I don't know, is it? Wow, look at them all on the, standing to attention. Look at this. And these guys are even bigger. Look at that. These got the brown jackets and the, yeah. Hello, sir. This is Corporal Johnson. He is B-17 pilot. Yeah. See, that'll be obviously an American accent, and I'm not even going to do that, you know. Yeah, it's again, it's not. I haven't gone around this properly. This is the first time I've actually gone around it and taken a look at everything in a bit more detail. That even the sort of, you know, the wood here to do the where the bikes are, pretty detailed, you know, and again, you need to keep in mind that this is completely free. I always said that Chico should release a sort of a premium freeware version of Duxford, because it's fantastic, and this is another belter by him, really nicely done. I would say, if I'm going to be very, very critical, which I don't like to be with freeware, I would say obviously Duxford is probably a bit more detailed, because it's easier for people to get references for that. Obviously there's a lot here that he's probably not been able to model or include because there's just no way of knowing or guessing. But when I say critical, I'm not being. I mean, I think I'm sure he will agree that obviously Duxford is a more complete scenery and definitely does hit the premium sort of tier. This I think this does as well. This is fantastically made, but there's a lot that he couldn't include on this, and I'm sure that he probably wanted to get every detail he could in there. And what I mean by that is, the biggest thing that I mean by that is the textures on the windows and the buildings, because what he's done with Duxford is there's very, very high quality textures done, and he's been able to, with Duxford, he's been able to texture the buildings and the windows. They look, most of them look like they're real interiors, but they're not even parallax, they're actually 2D. And there's obviously all the signage in Duxford as well. And I'm trying not to compare them. And listen, this is me. When I meant critical, I'm not even going to justify it. I'm just saying that obviously Duxford's more complete because it's going to be a lot more accessible for someone to get the reference material needed. This is on another level, but somehow Chico's been able to go in there and. Or Mick rather, has been able to go in and somehow still make it so it looks like a complete scenery that's taken us back in time. It's so, especially with the fact that the performance is fantastic. There's a load of static soldiers in there. I think these even might be custom trees. I don't think they're trees that are... No, they're definitely custom trees. Here's more use of sort of the small reservoir type thing that we've got going on with the water. And again, just the idea of bringing old airfields, military or otherwise, is a great idea. Love to see it. The control tower here looks actually a lot like Duxford's, but again would kind of make sense. They're in quite close proximity as well. There you go. Now I can only assume that this is definitely referenced, and it doesn't even look like it's an image from online. I'm gonna actually say that maybe even ChicoMick's done that. I don't know, but it looks very, very clear and well textured. Very, very nice. I mean, getting down to the details, you can actually see in the wood panel here the nails of where all the cross sections have been put in. Really cool. Really, really nicely done. It's linked in the description. Like I said before, you do need the secondary library to go with it. That will give you all of the vehicles, you know, the authentic trucks and I don't know about the bikes, maybe possibly the bikes as well, but it's a freeware, so you'll be able to get both of these for free. So the main scenery itself, and then the library that will give you the likes of, you know, these trucks and some of the vans and stuff like that. Nice. The hangars have been done so well. Really cool. Like I said before, I am in the middle, so I've been able to write up. I've done the bulk of the scripts for 4 more episodes of Freeware, with all of the Freeware listed and ready to go. I obviously now just need to record it, get my voice in there, and edit them together. So over the next couple of months going into 2026, you know, there's going to be more of that, more unboxings. I am looking to implement virtual reality on the channel in some kind of way, which will be a regular thing, by the way. It'll be something that I run with and make a regular fixture on the channel, especially flying inside virtual reality. But for the first couple of videos, it will be sort of kind of my just like opinions, experiences, what kind of experience in the past I've had with VR, and obviously unboxing the headset that I'm looking to get, and just loads of fun little things to do with VR. Some things that I haven't really seen others kind of do with Flight Sim, and I'm not just looking to do Flight Sim 2024, Microsoft Flight Simulator. I'm looking to do other simulators, X-Plane 12 in VR, and also Aerofly. It's not a sim, I wouldn't class it as a simulator, but the VR implementation in Aerofly, in Flight Aerofly FS2 was amazing. I want to try FS4 because I believe it's even better, and yeah, so there's that. I don't have enough time to possibly do everything all at once. Ideally, I'd love to, but let's just see how the channel manifests and continues to grow, because it is doing well at the minute. Here's another completely custom. Is the 322nd Bomb Squad. Fantastic. There's a big man coming out of a building. You late? It's fantastic. It really is such a cool idea, and the execution has been, well, it's been executed with very, very nice detail. And look at the houses over here as well. I know all this area is pretty much still intact. I know the hangars are, by the looks of it. Maybe even these houses are maybe still even used, but that is cool. You know, some of the guys who obviously haven't come over from the States, maybe, or some of the UK based ones. I'd like to just double check actually and see. And have a little look, because yeah, you've got, yeah, the hangars are still intact. Maybe I think one looks like it's being taken away and replaced with something else. It also looks like a hangar, but I think if I'm gonna hazard a guess, this might still be used for helicopters, or at least they can still have helicopters here. Most of the taxiways and some of the aprons surrounding the airfield are all there, And I think those houses are all still there. That road is called Cambridge Crescent. And all those houses are still there. In fact, quite a lot of these outbuildings here look like they're still there, being used in some way. Wow. And I think the control tower is still there as well. I'd love to potentially go there and see it, especially seeing this in the simulator. But yeah, those houses are still there. Wow. And I think you can even sort of see the crescent in here. I think it's fully mapped. Yeah. That's cool. I mean, I don't know if this is accessible to people. Don't know if these houses are public houses. It still looks like there's actually a gatehouse on the outskirts of the base as well. Yeah, and this grand old house here. Wow, look at this. That might even still be there. It is, yeah. Wow. So there's still an actual gate, like an a gated thing on here. Cambridge Crescent might not actually be part of the base anymore. It looks like it might be fenced off, and there's actually a way to get in there from the Old North Road, possibly that was. Pretty, yeah, you can still see it there. There's actually this road still exists that goes into the houses here, which again would be ex-RAF/US Army houses, which if you now own one of these houses or live there, then part of history. Fantastic. Really, really cool. Another really, really detailed and very, and in this case, very unique scenery that you can download, and you can see the space here now, which is now accommodated by quite a lot, especially this area here. This is being used by a lot of, being taken over by a lot of new buildings. The area of the airfield over this way has not being utilized as much. There's solar panels stretching across here, and then there's a lake. There's actually a lake just over here. Very interesting indeed. So whether that's an artificial, I imagine it is made, but it's being dug up into a lake here, and looking at Google Maps, there is still concrete visible of all these aprons that are all the way around here. But I would like to point out again that obviously Mick has had to exclude a lot of land and a lot of objects around this in the scenery editor to put all this in. So that in itself's got to be a lot of work, a lot of hours anyway. And again, it's freeware. So, he's not done this in a sense of, well, I'm doing all this, but I can make some money at the end of it. He knows it's going to be freeware. So if you do enjoy this series, if you enjoy any of the add-ons that I feature on the channel, this stream, older streams, any videos, please make sure when you go, and if you want to download them, that you leave some good feedback. I will mention that some creators take donations. That is me not forcing donations upon you or asking for donations at all. That is me just pointing out that if you do really love what these creators are doing and give them for free, then if you do find the time to just pop them £1 or £2 into a donation, fantastic. If you can't afford it, fantastic. Just show them a bit of love on the comments on the download page, because when you've got guys making sceneries like this that purely historic as well. It would have been a pain in the ass to do without any kind of references, or at least minimal reference material. I can totally understand the... I totally forgot to look at that as well. Look at this. Look at the old sort of, the smart car. It's not an army truck. This guy here, he's the main man. He's come out of here in his lovely World War era car. Maybe that's a bit older. I don't know, but so cool, man. Another belter. Another really, really good one. It'd be interesting to see if ChicoMick's going to do any more like that, or go anywhere else, because obviously it's not far from Duxford as well. But yeah, that's actually me for the evening now. And like I say, join my Discord, join my social medias. I am going to try and figure out what is possible with a live stream from the PlayStation 5 and give you a look at Flight Sim 2024 running beta, of course, on the PS5. If you want to see some screenshots, I have put some screenshots on my Discord and social media today, so you can have a little look and see what you think. But yeah, I want to do a live stream talking about what I have seen and experienced so far with the PlayStation 5 version. So keep an eye out on that. I'll schedule that in as soon as possible. And again, just keep an eye out in general for any other content, videos over on social media, anything. I will make sure everything's scheduled in. And of course, obviously, please make sure you're sharing around. If you enjoyed the content, then share it with everyone else you can. Say, listen, there's this guy that does flight sim and aviation stuff. I don't do as much aviation stuff as I should, but what I do want to do is get a video done of my time yesterday flying in real life. I got to be part of a little flight in a Piper PA-28, and it was so exciting. I want to do a little video for that because it was so exciting. I've got a load of clips, and I will release that as probably a YouTube short and a social media reel. So keep an eye on for that one, because that's going to be quite cool as well. And I'll do some kind of voiceover to describe it, because I didn't talk. I don't like doing that. I'd rather do a voiceover. Do you know what I mean? This is why live stream is still a bit, even now, even though I've been doing them for a while, it's still a bit alien to me. I'm like, oh, what do I say next? And most of the time you'll hear me absolutely mess things up, because I haven't got any teeth in my mouth, have I? I never put them in. Anyway, thanks for joining me. As always, guys, I really, really appreciate it. And yeah, I will catch you again on another one, which hopefully won't be too soon. Which will be soon. Hopefully will be soon. Hopefully won't be too soon. It will be. Hopefully it will be soon. Like this week coming. Anyway, I'll see you later.